Hello everyone, TLSG here, back again with another daily Marvel Snap video. Today we have the new featured location, Machine World. And if you haven't already checked it out, I made a video showcasing 5 different decks that will be good to play into Machine World while it is featured. One of them was this deck, but it was one that I wanted to explore a little bit further and play out and showcase some of the deck's potential, because I feel like this is a good deck with the featured location and without it. So this deck operates around countering whatever your opponent is doing or trying to play. And so if they're dropping large minions, you have your Shang-Chi. If they're dropping strong ongoing cards, you have your Enchantress. You also have Magik and Sera as a way to extend the game, draw into additional resources, and reduce the cost of your cards to be able to flood more cards out onto the board. We also have Captain Marvel that is able to act as a kind of a rover so that she can potentially impact multiple lanes while being on the board. Now, the general idea of this deck is that we play our low-cost cards, we play our low curve, so we play our Hood, we play Angela, we play Nova, we play Mysterio out onto the board. We can use Killmonger as a way to clear up that Angela lane, and then which allows us to play more cards in there and buff it up further. And then the kind of meat of the list is that we have a wave that we can drop on 3 that will allow us to sneak out either a Magik or a Sera early, which will allow us to extend the game, play additional resources, and get some additional upside as a result. And so then the last couple of plays come down to a counter play. So being able to counter what the opponent drops or what they want to drop so that you can find more upside out of it than what they can, and you can sneak away those big 8-cube games. But that is the rundown of the deck list. We are going to go ahead and jump into a couple of games. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so first up we have Robin, and the first location being Monster Metropolis. We have our Hood, so we can go ahead and play it onto the board, but I think we're gonna hold it. I think I'm gonna hold it for just a moment. That way we can play Angela first, we can play the Hood into it. As long as we draw into Killmonger, we can remove that 1-cost card, and we can find ourselves with a decent amount of upside. I think we play our Angela. We aim to play Captain Marvel into Stark Tower as well. That way she will be buffed up, and if she needs to fly to one of the other lanes, she'll be 8 power or 9 if we get a Nova, and can offer us quite a bit of benefit. So let's go with Angela into Stark Tower. We're going to be able to buff that one up quite a bit, or turn after turn. They play an Iceman, which impacts our wave. Shadowland is not great, but it's not terrible either. We were going to play Wave on 4. That would have let us play Magik on 5. Unfortunately, the Iceman hit the wave, and I didn't process at the time how impactful that was going to be for us. So instead, we may not play our Magik. Or if we do, maybe we play Magik and then Sera on 6, allowing us to do a big turn on 7, but we'll just have to play it out and see. Let's go ahead and play our Hood into Shadowland to the far right. That's going to give us a demon token in return. Their Thor is actually going to be a huge target for our Shang-Chi. So they're going to be able to play their Mjolnir, depending on how much or what all they play. We can target that with our Shang-Chi to take it out and find ourselves in a decent amount of upside. Let's go ahead and snap. We're going to snap off of that. We're pretty confident in being able to take out the Thor to swing this location. We're going to have a pretty big Stark Tower lane between our Mysterio, our Demon, our Angela, and potentially our Captain Marvel next turn. We might want to give them an additional turn to be able to buff up their Thor further. And so we'll see. Depending on what we draw into, we'll see if we want to drop. Ooh, they do a Dr. Doom, which does send power out wide. So they do have, at the very least, 8 power in their Doombot that is going to stay in this lane. Now we have 5 that would match theirs. Ooh, and if we actually get an increased upside with a Nova, then we can find even more upside on them. So we'd be able to edge out our Mysterio over the Doombot, and we'd be able to take that advantage. So we can either use our Magik here to take away the Stark Tower bonus. We could use Captain Marvel to retain the bonus, and then she'd be able to move around the board kind of freely to try to find a win condition or a winning space. We really want to draw into our Killmonger to destroy these cards and destroy our Nova. Let's lean into the Captain Marvel. We're gonna have to believe in the heart of the cards here. We're gonna have to hope that we draw into something impactful. And we don't want the lead going into the final turn. That way we can make sure that their Thor buffs up, and we can then target it with a Shang-Chi afterwards. So that's going to be pretty important for us. Ooh, we do get the Nova, but our real Mysterio is here. Unfortunately. We don't have space to do the Nova and Carnage. We don't want to do Nova and Carnage here, plus it would make it where we couldn't do our Shang-Chi anyways. So let's go with a Carnage here. That'll clean up this lane. It's not going to give us the win condition, but it might be able to find us a win condition with our Captain Marvel to move over. And then Shang-Chi should be a safe play here. They played their Jane Foster, which makes sure that they have Mjolnir in hand. That is going to buff their Thor up to 10, and then it's going to get the 3 power bonus from Monster Metropolis. We're going to tie in with the Doombot here, so I don't know. It becomes kind of risky. If Captain Marvel moves over, that would take the Monster Metropolis buff away from their Doombot, and I think we might be able to find ourselves in a win condition. I feel okay about this one. It's not a 100% win, but it's not completely against us either. Let's lock in this play line and see what they end up playing. So the Mjolnir into the Monster Metropolis. So we did know that that one was coming. Maybe they have an Odin as well. No, a Magneto. Oof. It didn't have any targets to hit with their Magneto. So I actually think we're going to win Stark Tower and the Shadowland. I think our Captain Marvel will be able to move over into Shadowland to find that win condition over there. And we have the... No, we just win outright, right? Because Magneto gets targeted with Shang-Chi. If we needed to, I think Captain Marvel could have moved over here, right? To find the win condition in all 3 lanes. I'm not sure. I thought she moved as a way to do that. Either way, we found the counter to this list. That is what the deck is designed to do. It's designed to take the greedy plays from the opponent, take the really high power, high impact plays, and then turn them on their head, allowing you to squeeze 4 and 8 cube games out of your opponent because it takes a winning position that they're very confident in and then flips it on them. All right, next up we have Cake Horizon. First location is Strange Academy, so that's going to move our cards across the board. We have our Hood, we have Wave as a way to cheat Magik out onto the board a little bit early. We also have Mysterio as a way to send them a fake Mysterio token in return. And so we'll see. They play Korg right off the bat. The middle location does turn out to be Machine World, which is going to be kind of funny. We can actually force them into these rocks, which I find very humorous. They gave us a rock with Korg. We're going to send it right back their way. And we're going to force them to have both of these in hand, which are not incredible. If they have a way to destroy some 1-cost cards, maybe they find some upside. But otherwise, we have a decent shot or decent play line. And so now we can do some strange things with Black Widow. Okay, so they discard the Sokovia, or they discard our Hood. We discard our Mysterio. Unfortunately, we didn't discard the Widow's Bite. So maybe they're running like a debris play. I don't know. Look, the Widow's Bite feels so... I don't know. I want to play Widow's Bite, and I think we definitely want to play it into Machine World because that's going to force them into having that Widow's Bite as well. We also know that they have a rock in their hand. They have a lot of like Clog or Crud style cards that we're forcing them to have. We're going to drop Wave. That's going to allow us to drop our Magik on the next turn. Maybe we do that into Strange Academy. Maybe we play it into Sokovia. What we're looking for is our Carnage. Our Carnage is going to be huge. Or now, better yet, our Killmonger is going to be huge as a way to trigger and clean up the Machine World location. And so that was pretty well timed. They give us the Green Goblin back in return, but they know that they were going to cap out the Machine World location. So pretty smart heads up play by them. Let's go ahead and play our Magik into Strange Academy. We're still looking for our Killmonger. That is going to free up this lane. It's going to free up 2 spaces in this lane. We'll be able to maybe send them a Green Goblin in return. We can do a Black Widow play. We can do a Carnage after that to clean it up further. Ooh, so they drop a Magik into the far right lane. We're going to drop one into the far left lane. Very, very, very similar play lines here. So I'm wondering what else they have in their deck. We desperately need to draw into our Killmonger. That is our #1 look right now. That is what we're looking for. That is what we need to find. Killmonger is going to clear up a lot of our worries. But we can't draw. We can't draw this turn. Oh no. Well, oh no. We can do a Green Goblin over here. We can do a Black Widow play. Oh my gosh. This feels terrible. We can do a Black Widow play. We can do Green Goblin. We're looking for a win condition in these two lanes, but it's going to be tough. I could see them now dropping a Doc Ock onto the board or onto us. Okay, so they have several one-cost cards. Killmonger would be phenomenal, especially if we don't have initiative going into this final turn. It would absolutely. Oh no, we are gonna have initiative, aren't we? We're gonna have initiative. They're not gonna draw a card. They can't play anything here. The Green Goblin they sent us actually bites them in the butt, and so yeah, they were very, very disruptive. Very disruptive. I thought this was a very clever play line, but it turned out that it didn't have enough of a power push. It locked us into this location, but it gave us some tools and resources to send them, junk in return. It allowed us to send them a Green Goblin to cap out this location, similar to how they capped out ours. And then from there, we just had a decent amount of upside. All right, next up we have Godfly. And the first location is Machine World, so we're going to be able to clog up their board a decent amount. We have our Killmonger to trigger our Nova, which I don't think we play into Machine World. We don't want to give them that resource. We're okay giving them quite a few resources. Nova is not one of them, though. Ooh, their Iceman hits our Magik, but that is okay. I would rather it hit the Magik than our Wave. And we have an extra energy this turn. We're going to be able to play Wave. Next turn, we actually get an interesting amount of upside. So because they dropped Iceman in the middle, that turned into Superflow. That is, they only have 2 energy to this turn. We have 3. Next turn, we will have 4 energy and they'll have 3. If we play Wave, that is going to make all cards cost 4. They're not going to be able to play next turn, and we can play anything that we want. So very interesting kind of turn events or play line, but it's one that is going to give us a slight advantage versus what they're running and what they're playing. So let's drop our Wave. They're not dropping anything this turn. They're not going to be able to drop anything next turn either, which is so satisfying to see. And depending on this last location, we can actually turn that into Limbo if we would like. So do we turn X-Mansion into Limbo, or do we turn Machine World into Limbo? I'm torn, because both are pretty decent. X-Mansion would be the RNG casino. We can play into Machine World, but to clog up their hand a little bit. Let's go with changing X-Mansion with our Magik. Again, they're not gonna be able to play anything this turn because they only have 3 energy and all cards are costing 4. And so let's change that location into Limbo. They have to skip on that turn as well, and now we can kind of sit and wait. I don't think we hold our Enchantress though. Do we start 4? Let's just skip here. We have an extra turn. We have additional energy. I think we hold these 2 cards. What we're looking for is maybe a Sera play. If we can find Sera, we can disrupt the Superflow. Absolutely no questions asked. We can drop that next turn, and then we can easily counter whatever their in-game goals or in-game kind of play line is. So they do a White Queen. They copy either our Shang-Chi or our Enchantress. We don't know which one. So we'll see. We're going to drop a Hood into Machine World. That'll give us a demon token. If they end up deciding to drop it themselves, then we do have Killmonger to try to outmaneuver their demon token once they drop it onto the board. And now we actually get our Mysterio as well. Let's go ahead and drop our Mysterio. That's going to give us the Mysterio token, which sends their way as well. So if they play a card, that is going to fill up. If they just play 1 card, that's going to fill their hand back up with a useless token. Which one do we think we don't need here? I think in terms of what cards we don't need to play or we're not going to need to play next turn, probably Enchantress. Let's go with Enchantress. We're going to play that onto the board just as a way to push that power out onto the board. We're going to hold our demon in case we go with a Killmonger play, but more than likely we'll go with a Carnage here. Oh no, ooh, that Infinite was massive. It's not bad. They don't have much of a power push in the other lanes, but that's not bad. We probably should have put the real Mysterio here, kind of looking back and thinking about it, but it is what it is. So let's go with a Killmonger. Ooh, let's go with a Shang-Chi. I almost missed it, and I don't know why. Let's go with the Shang-Chi play. That is going to bring us up to 1 power. It's going to take their power away here. We can then go with a... Do we go with the Killmonger trigger or not? Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't go with the Killmonger trigger. Maybe we go with Carnage to clean this lane up. We do a demon token over here. And we do Shang-Chi here as a way to kill their Infinite. I think they're probably pretty confident in their Infinite play line. They have to invest in one of these 2 lanes. This is going to allow us to have a 6 power, a 9 power play here, and we're taking away their 20 power Infinite. We're pushing 6 more here to push us up to 10, and we have the real Mysterio token here, so we're actually at 15, and they're going to need to push 13 power here to win. Did they snap? No, we snapped. Okay, let's go ahead and lock in. If we had not snapped, we would go ahead and absolutely snap right here. They play a card into the far left lane. It's really interesting. What are they playing? Is it a Doctor Doom? Is it something that can impact multiple lanes? What do they have here? They have an Arnim Zola. Oh my gosh. That poor fellow. So we take, because we had initiative, we take their Infinite, we destroy it. Arnim Zola has no targets. We end up swinging all 3 locations and getting 4 more cubes. I'm going to go ahead and end the video after that one. I feel Gadfly, I apologize. I happily take your cubes, but that was dirty. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave it a like and a comment down below. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.